Ever wonder who came up with the idea of video games, or why we're so hooked on them? How did we go from bouncing pixels to battling dragons and racing cars? Well, here, in Dr. Wonder TV, I'll try to answer all the things you've ever wondered, big or small, serious or silly. Let's rewind to October 1958, long before Fortnite and Mario took over the world. Meet William Higginbotham, a physicist who wasn't trying to create a worldwide obsession. He just wanted to entertain some visitors at the Brookhaven National Laboratory open house. And boom, he created what's thought to be the very first video game. They called it Tennis for Two. Pretty catchy, huh? But don't picture anything like the graphics we have today. Oh no, this was as basic as it gets. Imagine two lines, one for the ground, one for the net, and a dot for the ball. That's it. The screen, a cathode ray tube display, which, let's be honest, sounds more like a device for studying particles than a gaming monitor. And you didn't have to mash buttons like today either. You had a knob to adjust the angle of the ball and one button to hit it. Simple, right? No combos, no power-ups, just you, the dot, and physics. Now here's the kicker. You couldn't even miss the ball unless you timed it wrong or hit it at a funky angle. It was tennis with training wheels. But people loved it. They flocked to play this simple game, and Tennis for Two became the star of the show. Long lines of eager players stood waiting for their turn to see this dot bounce back and forth. Imagine people in the 50s saying, "Whoa, this is the future." Little did they know they were right. And if you thought keeping score in modern games is tricky back then, players had to track the score themselves. No flashy numbers on the screen, just good old memory power. I guess you could say this was tennis for both your reflexes and your brain. Higginbotham probably had no clue his little experiment would be the first spark in an industry worth billions today. From Tennis for Two to the vast virtual worlds we now explore, it all started with a bouncing dot on a screen. Talk about leveling up. So next time you fire up your favorite game, remember, it all began with a physicist, a knob, and a tiny bouncing dot. Who knew? And if you enjoyed this dive into video game history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, keep wondering,